So here's just another, you can see here this data, here it is going back just a few, here's going back, here's 2017, see that right there, winter. Here's going back 2019, right in here, 2020, 2021, 2022, currently right there. So really strong seasonal trend there, just to show you and point out. Okay, and then the next thing is to just look at my momentum indicators. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is the additional entry edge that you get if you combine the seasonal trend, but then use, you know, my cycle indicators. So you can really fine tune the entry so you're not going to have any equity drawdown or very little. So this is marking 26 and then out the second. Okay, so what I want to point out is the additional better edge you get if you combine whatever my momentum indicators. Maybe you have something that you like to use. All right, so this is using my momentum indicators to give it a little bit more precise entry, so less equity drawdown. So the seasonal trend got in here, the 26th of October. Now my indicators would have gotten in right about here. See these two arrows? So we had a cycle reversal, and then we had momentum starting to push up. So you can see the entry would have been right in here. Now this one then had a little bit of equity drawdown, but you could move up. So what I like to do is use the seasonality to look at forecasting. Okay, we know there's a big potential seasonal winter trade coming up on the S&P, and then I'll look to get into the trade or use my momentum indicators, my cycle indicators, for the actual entry. So it would have been in right here, and then just stay with the trend. So it's currently still in. So this is the S&P, all right? So would have been in right about here, about 42, 42.50, still riding the wave up. Now it's starting to get, this is a cycle reversal. So by the end of this week, this trade will be, seasonally will be getting out, but we'll be watching this closely for an exit based on my momentum indicators. And we're starting to get a cycle reversal. So you can see the seasonal trend is a little bit coming to the end of it. So for the next week, you know, be watching the market. So seasonally, the markets are going to start showing a little bit of weakness, which I showed you in those earlier slides. So coming into around the end of this next week, you know, basically. So that's the S&P futures. But, you know, if you want to use SPY, then just use SPY. So here's the same thing used in the SPY, the ETF or SPX if you wanted. So I would have gotten in here, but my indicators would have gotten in right about here. Okay, so, you know, you had that drawdown, now it came back, but sometimes, you know, it can have a bigger drawdown. So really good entry right there, and still currently in the trade. So it would have been in right about 420. And if you, I'd be looking at probably currently getting out right in here at 455, 543. So this is up $30 on the S&P. So this just right now is up about $30 currently. If you did, you know, one contract or one SPY, you know, you're up $30. And if you did 100, then you can see the potential for this, or I would be using options, but a really great trade entry right there, seasonality enter, and then momentum cycle entry right here. And then you can see how it's tracking with the moving averages. Okay, so a lot of things we can combine to really help to hold into a trend and have, you know, very low equity drawdown, or manage the trade in really precision